Hey, what's up, boys? Onepeg here with another. Sorry, hold on. Newsy news. Update. So earlier today, there was a tweet that was put out by Logical Solutions about a buff to loot rates on all of the maps globally, and we'll get to that in just a second. There was a loot buff, but I want to elaborate on this. There was a variable that was increased by 22%. Okay, so for those of you that want the TLDR, there you go, and we can now move on. Okay, this is basically how it went down. So Logical ended up tweeting that a global loot modifier stat inside of Tarkov was increased by around 22%. And since then, Trey24K ended up kind of jumping on the bandwagon with this and also released a video saying that loot had been increased globally by 22%. Also, there's this other tweet that came from Logical shortly thereafter that said that it seems like in the laboratory, raider spawns have been zonified to actions, meaning that when you push a button to spawn raiders, they will not spawn randomly in the map, but in set spawns. Maybe labs mates will start to notice patterns. What that sounds like to me, at least on this level, what that sounds like to me is that raiders are going to spawn in specific areas based on button presses. So the patternization of this will come down to, like, I press a button, raiders are going to spawn here. And nothing against labs mains. I mean, like, I hope there's tons of loot to be had by everybody. However, I want to at least try to rope in this whole idea of there being a 22% increase to loot. It is not really 22% increased loot. What it is we don't know. The way that the game works is there is variables that affect loot spawn chance. And when the loot is spawned into the map, it's pooled into like a single spot, and then that loot is then kind of like distributed out amongst the map in all of the boxes and containers and stuff, okay? And laying on around on the ground or whatever. When that happens, that is all based, the loot spawning, the loot creation, that is all based on a set of variables that is determined by an algorithm on the server side, okay? No one knows what that algorithm is. Not me, not the guys that data mine the game, not the wiki bros. No one knows. We don't have a clue. What we can see are these variables. There's like a global loot modifier, and then there are modifiers like per map that deal with how loot is spawned. And what that comes down to in terms of quality of loot or percentage likelihood of seeing a certain type of loot or percentage likelihood of seeing more loot, we have no idea, okay? So this global loot modifier, when placed into that algorithm, my assumption would be there's some kind of floating integer involved, will have some kind of an effect. What that effect is, we don't know. We just know that it's more. There's more of something, but we have no idea how to quantify what more means other than to say there's just more stuff. Before everyone starts going off like crazy about how there's going to be way more loot on maps, we have no idea whether or not it's way more or if it's a 2% shift. I just want to try and rope that in a little bit because I feel like people are kind of going off on this idea that there's going to be just like tons more loot everywhere, and that's not really the case. So yeah, this was a short one. I'm going to throw up a couple of highlights for y'all on the tail end, so that, YouTube doesn't take my monetization away. Oh, and if you guys feel like subbing the channel, I wouldn't mind. That would be super awesome. And I'll see you in the next one. All right? Peace. I can't hear which way they're coming from. This rain fucking sucks. Whoo! Love that shit. He just did like one of those like push-up Superman things. Oh! Oh!
I got a bad feeling about it. Open the goddamn movie.
Boom! He died. That guy died. He just hatched an RGD. That. Did he have a built? He had a relatively built gun. Hey. What's up, bud? How we doing? Would you look at this boy? Hey. Sheesh is what you say when you're strimming your mom's basement. Wait. So I don't end up...